You know we be with it, we off in the hood like some wizards. Nobody ever gave us anything. Meant something from nothing, just like magicians. Gotta relearn everything. Just to remember that I was forgetting. Just to remember that we had a vision. Did it all, don't know how I did it. Time to go start season to go and you know those crystal truths. Let them know we in here, yeah, we in the building. Start season to go and you know those crystal truths. Back up in the matrix, yeah, we on the mission. Start season to go and you know those crystal truths. Let them know we in here, yeah, we in the building. Start season to go and you know those crystal truths. Back up in the matrix, yeah, we on the mission. Off on the mission, you know how it goes. Off in the system, they turn up their nose. They took all the soil, but they didn't know. Through the concrete, you see the roads. Eyes ain't open, don't mean I ain't woke. Ain't got no cash, don't mean that I'm broke.
Welcome in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're in the 80s of the episode. Is it 82 or 83? You know, you go on holiday and you kind of forget. But we're up there. We're up there. Growth and expansion. One love. I'm just going with what the divine is just throwing it in there for me. All the things that we get to express through all of the, I don't know what, all the channeling, all the auto writing, all the art, all the music. Guess what? You get to see you. You get to taste you. You get to be exactly whoever you want to be. You get to believe exactly whatever you want to believe. Just because you have an awakening moment doesn't mean you have to step away from religiosity. It just awakens you to asking questions, to decide what you want and what you don't want in life. What you want and what you don't want in life. Ra is just one of the many channelers that is bringing in information to you. You get to take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. We're here to grow and expand. We're here to have an act of consciousness. You know what that act is called? It's called awareness. Pure, unconditional awareness. And you get to have choice in it. I know I'm always saying to you that once I know, I can't go back. But that's my choice. That's my choice. There are some that awaken and then go, no, I don't want to see that. That's too much to know. That hurts too much. That makes me feel that you get to do that. You can go back to sleep if you want. That's a choice. That's a free will choice. Not a bad choice, not a good choice, just a choice. It's an act of your sovereignty. Even if you don't know that you're sovereign. That's all Ra is saying. We're giving you the cheat sheet. You can use it if you want. If not, go ahead, go through all of the expression to fine tune you. The divine is saying, I'm there regardless. I'm right with you. I'm burning. I am seeking through you. Aware. Here we go. 2026. We we're finishing book 3. And we will be starting. Here we go. I got it ready. Book 4. So are you ready? I'm ready. Are you sitting in the seat of your soul to act in your consciousness? To act in consciousness. I'm going to say it again. To act in consciousness. That's action. To ask yourself an embodying question. To listen to something and say, oh, wait, I remember that. I got to go back to book 1 because they said that before. That's what Ra wants you to do. Have a discerning moment where it takes you from one place and you get to journey into another. Over to you, Marcus.
Ooh-wee. Welcome back to Ascending Beyond Limitations. It has been about a month since we have been live with you guys in this Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time-space slot in this wonderful universe that we are conducting these raw vibrations into our fields. And I just want to give gratitude for this container, gratitude to Sandy for co-hosting, and gratitude for all of you that are here to receive as well as conduct more vibrations as well. And I just want to remind us all that we are all creating and building the space together, and we thank you for that. We thank you for being here to share these moments and to share this energy. So, since it has been quite a while in this Earth time since we have been with you guys on our last episode, I'm going to go ahead and rewind us back to episode 81 and give us a refresh on where it is that we left off on when it comes to book number 3 of the raw material. And then we will continue from there and move forward as we close out.
Stars easy to go when you know those crystal children. Back up in the
With the self. If you haven't been able to ground yourself today, if you haven't been able to slow down from your busy day, if you haven't been able to regulate, this is an opportunity for you to take that with the breath.
I am Ra. This is correct. The questioner says, are the processes that we are talking about processes that occur on many planets in our Milky Way galaxy, or do they occur on all planets, or what is the percentage? Okay, so the questioner wants to know what happens on other planets, not just Earth. Does it happen the same way? Do they experience the negative polarity and the positive polarity the same way? Divine, the law of one. They're talking about law of correspondence. They're talking about what? And it's like, I like watching TV. I mean, I don't receive all of the movie. There might be parts of the movie that's not for my highest and greatest good, and I close that energy exchange, but I take what resonates with me. Blows your mind, right? Basically, Ross said, yes. Yes, you're absolutely correct. The one true creator is creating itself throughout the whole galaxy. And there's various versions of infinite information being shared everywhere, all at the same time and not at once.
Remembering that, just like myself, others have free will, and with that free will, to trust that they will alchemically go through what they need to based off of their free will due to the divine essence that is embedded within each and every one of us. And this QR code will take you directly to our Sacred Kingdom community link page. And basically the link page is like a directory. And on this link page, you guys will find all of our different websites and links all on one page for you. So you guys can browse, check out any of our healing services. We have a crystal shop. We have a organic home product maker.
Witness,
like
but also to participate. Don't make me cry. It's not cry. It's not tears of sadness, but it's tears of joy.
Tears of joy. Tears of joy, tears of joy. What a place to leave off and continue in this now moment. Over to you, Sandy.
Tears of joy, right? Tears of joy. Most of us learned when we're leaving 1 year, we're getting ready to go into another year. We were programmed that we were going to make New Year's resolutions. And the divine said to me, you haven't done a New Year's resolution in a long time. You've been doing New Year's intentions. And the divine says to me, my creator says, I taught you well. Not that a resolution isn't a wrong way. But as I laid down my head on New Year's Eve, I didn't stay up and wait for the balloons to drop or the fireworks to go off. I made my New Year's intention that the version of me that was going to sleep that night was going to surrender, rest, restore, regenerate, rejuvenate, and get ready to reset into the new version of me on January 1st, 2026. When I woke up that morning, I asked my higher being, what version is that I'm about to step into? Show me. You have a mirror of you that stands before you and says, look at me, or look into me. I'm going to show you you. It's called your higher self. It's not the mirror that hangs on the wall. It's not the mirror that hangs from your car, your rear view mirror, your side view mirrors. The divine wants you to know that you don't have to look back if you don't want to. Your higher self can show you exactly what you want to see, how you want to see it, and where you want to go in the new year. You don't have to get mad at yourself if you didn't write everything down to bring it forward because somebody told you to. Ra is giving you suggestions. Is allowing your higher self to show you the mirror. This is all Ra is doing. Ra is saying, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. You got this. And your higher self is saying, look at you. You're magnificent. You just don't see it yet. But that's okay. You will. So let's get started. All right. The questioner says, could you please comment on the accuracy of these statements? I am going to talk in general about the concept of magic and first define it as the ability to create changes in consciousness at will. Is this an acceptable definition? I am Ra. This definition is acceptable in that it places upon the adept the burden to share, or the burden it shall bear. It may be better understood by referring back to an earlier query in your measurement. Within this working, having to do with the unmanifested self. In magic, one is working with one's unmanifested self in body, in mind, and in spirit. The mixture depending upon the nature of the working. These workings are facilitated by the enhancement of the activation of the indigo ray energy center. The indigo ray energy center is fed, as are all energy centers, by experience. But far more than the others is fed by what we have called the disciplines of the personality. The ability to do magic is interdependent on you or me or Marcus via body, mind, and spirit. It's about the individual. It's about the unmanifested becoming manifested. The query is about the unmanifested becoming manifested, the unknown becoming known. This is all magic is. This is all magic is. Magic is energy, and energy is here to grow, expand, and become. The questioner says, I will state that the objective of the white magical ritual is to create a change in consciousness of a group. Is this correct? I am raw. Not necessarily. It is possible for what you term white magic to be worked for the purpose of altering only the self or the place of working. This is done in the knowledge that to aid the self in polarization towards love and light is to aid the planetary vibration. The questioner says, the change in consciousness should result in a greater distortion towards service to others, towards unity with all, and towards knowing in order to serve. Is this correct, or is there any other desired result? I am raw. These are commendable phrases. The heart of white magic is the experience of the joy of union with the Creator. The joy, I'm sorry, I'm getting excited now. The joy will of necessity. I'm sorry, this joy will of necessity radiate throughout the life experience of the positive adept. It is for this reason that sexual magic is not restricted solely to the negatively oriented polarizing adepts, but when most carefully used, it is placed in high magic as it, when correctly pursued, joins body, mind, and spirit with the one infinite Creator. Any purpose which you may frame, any purpose which you may frame should, we suggest take into consideration this basic union with the one infinite Creator, for this union will result in service to others of necessity. It's back to the individual and how the individual chooses to use energy or white magic. How they choose to serve others. It only works on the individual or the place within the where the individual is. The circle of the story, the journey. How are you using it? Over to you, Marcus.
So, very intriguing that we touch on the third eye chakra. And the third eye chakra, or the indigo energy center, is known as the conscious mind when it comes to metaphysics. And in metaphysics, we learned that the conscious mind is where we are able to basically use our conscious willpower to assimilate a perspective or projection of our reality that we experience through our vision. So what we also learn too is that we have a subconscious self, so it's a mind that is able to take action with what it is aware of in the world. So the more conscious we are of something, the more we can take action with being an alchemist with that other energy form. And when we are in our subconscious self, the subconscious self is the self that has been conditioned and programmed through experiences, energy, and information. And then those conditions or patterns, the programming, it then cycles through into projecting into our conscious reality. Now, they say human beings in psychology are ran by their subconscious mind about 90% of the time. So that's where, really looking at, what programming we have going on, what patterns we have, and are they supporting what it is that we are wanting or intending to manifest or bring into this material world. Now, I've sat with many different clients, many different guests at these retreats and through holistic and shamanic services. And one thing that I've really, been able to explore with a few of these wonderful souls is that, in the subconscious, we are able to basically rewire and redesign the patterning that we are programmed with. And that is something that we have power to do within our own being. So giving those gentle reminders, giving those loving reminders that, we are not having to fall victim to any particular mindset or any type of behavioral patterns or attachments to our past. And when we get these reminders, I've seen for myself that we're able to kind of get that igniting of what was already self-governing within our own self. And just like it's kind of like getting the dust off of, the old Cadillac that's been in the garage for a while. It's still that old Cadillac that's been in the garage. It just hasn't been woken up and turned on for a while. So we all have this, this kind of all spark inside of us. And for some, it may be a little bit dusted, or it might be well in gear at the moment. But it's one of my most favorite feelings in the world, though, to hold that space for those that are wanting to seek that or become more aware of how to activate the self. And with that third eye conversation or the Indigo Energy Center, I just want to remind everyone a few insights when it comes to the chakra in itself. And just a reminder that you are to program yourself in any fashion that you feel in your free will. You're also able to, tell your own self from within yourself if you want to take on a belief system or if you do not want to take on a belief system. And that also, just to be aware of what it is that's in your environment. What are you consuming? What is it that you're allowing yourself to be told? And what are you believing in? And is it aligning with your intentions? Grace, good evening. Welcome.
Welcome in, Grace. And on Instagram, welcome, Lunar Queen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So no matter what you call it, guys, energy is energy. You can call it white magic. You can call it black magic. You can call it, matrix. You can call it illusion. You can call it the Almighty God. You can call it the divine creator. You could call it the universe. No matter what we label it, energy is here it's seeking itself in physical form. And it's waiting for us to give it direction. It's waiting for us. And guess what? Even if you say to someone else, well, I'm conscious and they're not conscious and they're sleeping and they're this, they're still creating. Energy is still listening to them. That's why things are being produced and manifested. That's why stories are being expressed. And through those stories, you get to make choices. Through other people's stories, you get to make choices. Whether it's government or big business or big religion or whatnot, all of these stories, they give you an opportunity to have a like or a dislike, because that's part of the process of being human. I'll give you a little story, just a little one. When I first had one of what I considered my major awakenings, because I'm always having awakenings, but when I had my major one, when I just knew I was awakened, I had this thought process that now all the shit was going to go right in life for me. The law of attraction was going to give me all the money, and I was going to have the best life ever and never have a dull moment. Everything was going to be, here's my word, picture perfect. No, I still got to express life. I had to learn. I had to learn how to operate for the word that the questioner is talking about. I still had to learn how to operate within the universal, the quantum universe, how to operate and acclimate my white magic, my energy. Because some shit kept coming back to bite me in the butt, and I kept going, why? I'm awakened. But it wasn't, I finally learned, it took me some time, guys, to learn that at spiritual bypassing, no, not for me, because I had to be human. This is what my soul came to do. Things weren't going to be pictured. Matter of fact, I have now learned that word perfect, I don't want it in my dialogue. Take that one out and just say synchronicity. Just let it flow. Because sometimes things are going to flow in, and you're going to go, what am I supposed to learn from this? It doesn't feel good. What am I supposed to learn from it? I had a real wake-up call in a meditation that I am flowing through things just being, not looking at it as it's negative, not looking at it as it's positive, just being a moment. And what is this moment going to teach me? What's it going to show me? I finally understand that the more I look at it that way, the more I'm stepping into a new consciousness, even though my physical body might still be in 3D or in this physical realm. I'm now operating in a higher consciousness. You could say 4D, 5D, 6D. I haven't got what dimension it is, but I'm seeing it a whole different way now. Where I used to just look at it as different, by have to identify what part of the pole am I in? Am I in the negative pole, or am I in the positive? Or instead of doing that, I'm just being and making choices and expressing. And this is what Ra wants you to understand. Energy is energy, regardless of whether you call it white magic or black magic. It depends on how you're utilizing your energy, how you're giving instruction to the energy. The moment I started to really tap into my chakras, and I doing on my whole awakening podcast series. I finished doing a series on chakras. Not finished. I mean, I'm barely starting. This man here that's with me right now, I'm learning so much from him about chakras. The divine put him in my life because now I'm learning that the energy is within me. I'm excited. I'm so excited. And I just have to thank him. Let's thank this young man right now, Marcus Christolight Robbins, for his production company, for his network, for all his YouTube page, or not just pages, but places where you can go get info, where he's highlighting people that you can get info from, because the divine isn't just sticking to one person. It's not just Abraham Hicks. It's not just Bashar. It's not just Soul Awakening with Sandra. It's not just Sacred Light Kingdom. He's featuring so many people that can help you understand you. And then when you understand you, your gifts start to surface because they're already in you. That's what Ra wants you to know. Your magic is already in you. You were born that way. You were born a sovereign being. But guess what? You don't have to acknowledge it. You don't. I found out today, I was doing some reading about, my divine took me to read a little bit more about sovereignty versus sin. Because like I told you, I grew up a Baptist. Okay. That story ran deep. But I grew up a kid that was allowed to always ask questions that said, what more? Because that can't be it. But I grew up believing that I had to work really hard to get with the God that was not in me, that was outside of me. And I had to prove myself every step of the way. And then I had to wait till I die. This is for me. I'm not making religion bad. There's no bad and no good unless you feel a certain way about your growth and your expansion. For me, it wasn't working for me. I had to say, that's not working for me. It didn't feel good. So for me, that word might go, ooh, that feels bad. But it was, I had to come up in that religious background in order to ask questions about my sovereignty. This is all Ra wants you to do. is know that your energy is already there. The divine, you could call it whatever you choose, is already within you. Your awakening process is your higher self coming online saying, I'm aware now. I'm awake now. I am recalling now. Let me help you remember. This is all Ra wants you to understand, is that once you start remembering, you start asking the questions that you need so that you can utilize the energy from within to manifest without. Whoa, I did not know that that was going to be a channel. Shall we continue? Or do you have anything more to add? Woo. Do you have anything more to add?
Wow. I don't know if I have much more to add, but I know the AI does.
Grace says perfect is
Your third eye isn't psychic fairy dust. It's the mental skill that turns imagination into intention. The third eye chakra, centered between the brows, links intuition with clear mental imagery. Myth says it grants visions. Method says it trains your attention. Practice. Sit quietly. Breathe. Picturing a single vivid outcome for 2 to 5 minutes. Notice details, colors, movement, feeling. Then write one tiny action you can take today. Repeat daily. Sharpen the image. Take the step. Adjust. Over time, attention primes behavior. Conscious manifesting becomes routine, not mystery. Small images, steady action. That's the secret.
steady action.
That's the secret.
That's the secret. Now it's not a secret. Now it's not a secret. You have the intention.
Uh-oh.
You have the embodiment. The universe says, oh, you want that? Show me what it looks like. And you have the embodiment. Pretty soon, you see what you want everywhere you go. I'll give you a little story. From my late 20s to my early 40s, I used to say, when I get 50, I want a baby blue 1996 Jag, because I was into them. I just wanted one, and I knew I was going to get one. Baby blue 1996 Jag. I saw myself driving it. And then I saw all kinds of Jags show up when I was driving my Toyota Camry. Right? But everywhere I looked, freeway, highway, street, there would be all types of blue Jags showing up. Not just 1996s, 97s, but new ones as well. So to make a long story short, I got, look at those, right? I had 2 baby blue Jags showed up. My son bought me one that was a fixer-upper, right? And as we were trying to do the fixer-upper thing, and it was taking a little bit longer because every time we fix a part, then there was another part that needed to be fixed, right? So I had that one. It's sitting in my space and is being worked on. Then my daughter happens to talk to a friend of mine who came over with her friend, and he said he had a baby blue and a 1996, and he was looking to sell it. And she said, wait. And she came inside and she says, Mom, you need to come out now. Right? And it was perfect price, perfect, used and whatnot, but perfectly drivable, guys. So at that particular time, I now have 2 baby blue Jags sitting in my driveway. Not one, but just 2. Right? This is how the universe says. The more you see it, the more you feel it, the more you can taste it. The universe says the more that we can make it so. Well, that same thing when it was time for me to trade the Jag in, right? Because it was used. But guess what? I got it. I drove it for over almost 3 years. So the next time it's time to get a car, my daughter says, well, what car do you want now? And I said, well, I'd like a Dodge, all black Dodge Charger. Same thing happened. I started seeing Dodge Chargers everywhere. And guess what? I had 2 of those in my driveway as well, trying to decide which one I wanted from 2 different companies. I'm just saying, I ended up with one, but I'm just saying the universe says I'm going to give you 2. It's about how you use your magic. That's all Ra is saying. It's energy. You call it white magic, but it's individual, and it's how you use it. It's how you step up to the plate and you get ready to hit the home run. You have to see the home run. You have to see that ball go out of the court or out of the baseball court over the fence. Never to be seen again because you hit it that far. Right? So it says, the questioner says, there are, shall I say, certain rules of white magic. I will read these few, and I would like you to comment on the philosophical content or basis of these, and add to the list of any importance that I have neglected. First, a special place of working, preferably constructed by the practitioner. Second, a special signal or key, such as a ring or summon to summon the magic personality. Third, special clothing worn only for the working. Fourth, a specific time or day. Fifth, a series of ritual sound vibratory complexes designed to create the desired mental distortion. Sixth, a group objective for each session. Could you comment on this list, please? I am Ra. To comment upon this list is to play the mechanic which views the instruments of the orchestra and adjust and tune the instruments. Will you note these are mechanical details? The art does not lie herein. One item of least importance is what you call the time of day. This is important in those experimental nexi, wherein the entities search for the metaphysical experience without conscious control over the search. The repetition of working gives this search structure. In this particular group, the structure is available without the need for inevitable sameness of time of working. We may note that this regularity is always helpful. Then the questioner says, you stated in a previous session that Ra searched for some time to find a group such as this one. I would assume that this search was for the purpose of communicating the law of one. Is this correct? I am Ra. This is partially correct. We also, as we have said, wish to attempt to make reparation for distortions in this law set in motion by our native action of your past. I take that pause. Did you hear that? Over to you, Marcus. Whew. He'll be back in a second. Here we go.
Ooh.
Whoa, right?
Wow.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. I love how it just like
does that blow you away?
This nicely. Yeah. I love how it just like this very oof, that lag.
Are you doing it?
There we go.
I mean, what Ra was saying is, 14,000 years ago when we came the first time, we thought you were ready and you weren't ready. And Ra is saying, we're back, we're back now. Past is the past. Let's bring it forward. I love how Ra did that. I love how Ra answered that. Past is the past. Let's bring it forward. We're still telling you how to operate and use your energy. You're still going to grow and expand. You're still going to shift. You're still going to evolve. Wash, rinse, repeat if you want. But it doesn't mean repeat the past. It just means wash, rinse, and repeat. How do you want to use the energy next time? It's about you using the tools that you have from exactly where you're at. For exactly what you want, not what the Joneses have. What do you want? Whoa. Over to you. Over to you. Over to you. Woo. I'm excited.
Yeah, I really loved how Ra just nicely bundled up what we have discussed throughout this episode, and that it ultimately is going to come down to what it is that you want to conduct. What do you want to conduct into this world? And it's your free will with your individual self and this unique experience that we get to have. And it's so fascinating really thinking about the deep reflections I've been having lately, especially like just really thinking about that, like the free will that we have as who we are, and how ultimately that like it really never is taken from us, our own free will. Like even if you're pressured, even if you're influenced, even if you're told a certain thing, you still have that system within you where, based off of the actions that you take, then there is the next to happen from that moment. And it's so fascinating to really, really deeply sit with it. And it'll come throughout the days. It comes and goes, that deep thought of free will and how fascinating it truly is. And sometimes what I realized for myself was that I might tell myself at times that I feel like I don't have free will. But when it really comes down to it, I tend to remember that I can always redirect my energy and basically start over. Start over at what we call 0 point energy. Source energy. I release attachments that are keeping me from being in my wholeness embodiment. I am allowing myself to see and acknowledge that I am that I am. But how often do we tell ourselves such things throughout the day? Is it something that we could maybe implement a little bit more if we feel like we are getting bent out of shape throughout the day? Or if we continue on and find another flow. So I just got to say, I am grateful for Ra giving the gentle reminder, our actions as the I am is like the conductor to the reality that we assimilate. And with that, I just want to say that I'm grateful and I love each and every one of you. And it's pretty amazing to be the divine mirrors of each other's souls.
Yes. Yes. Divine mirrors of each other's souls. So, Ra and the divine want me to leave you with this, because I do have to go. So, but it is from the masters in the new energy. The divine wants you to know energy is not new or old. It has never been created, nor can it be destroyed. It can only transform and become more or less, if that's how you choose to see it. But Ra, as the one true divine creator, part of the wholeness that is and is not, wants me to share these words from Adamus Saint Germain. I always do that. I want to shorten the whole name with this guy, but it's a channel. And it says, the master understands their own discernment. And then the divine wants me to say, the I am understands their own discernment. Quite simply, the master understands what is theirs and what is not, because of the interconnection of energy, particularly the interconnection of consciousness between all humans and all things. It is very, very easy to get caught in the confusion about what's yours and what is not. So often you accept energies that aren't yours at all. You take them on or in, but it is like taking in the homeless. You give them a place to live. You give them a refuge from the outside, but so often they start taking your energy and they are not your responsibility. Now, it's not saying, oh, don't go take care of the homeless. That's not what they're saying. They're saying sometimes you take people in, not just the homeless. Sometimes you take family in, and they take advantage of you and take advantage of your beautiful energy. Understand your own energy within you. You decide how you're going to use it. You decide what you're going to create with it. And then go create. It doesn't mean the Ra just said to me, they think already that they have to hoard. You don't have to hoard your energy. You are a bright star. You have the power of the same of a star that has just started burning. That's how powerful you are. That's how much energy is in this little tiny little vessel of Sandy. It's magnificent. You're magnificent. You can create whatever you want to create for you. You can also douse it when you're ready. If you want. You can make yourself small if you choose. That's a free will choice. The divine will not keep it from you. The divine will not say, you're bigger than that. I'm going to keep you from lowering your shine. The divine will say, if that's what you wish, let it be so. Like Grace says, who wants perfect? She'd rather have alignment. But you can choose perfect, and energy will align with that. But if your perfect doesn't work out, energy is just going to be energy and say, what next? You are the I am that gets to discern what it means to be human with a conscious mind, and now aware of being human with a conscious mind. You are a spirit being. You are a sovereign spirit being that gets to decide if it wants to act like a sovereign spirit being in a human body with a conscious mind that's aware or not. You get to decide whether you want to stay a victim, play a victim, and stay there, knowing that you could stop. But if you choose to stay, the divine says, okay, your wish is my command. The divine says, let it be so. We'll stay here a little bit longer. Growth and expansion is your birthright. And all Ra wants you to do is grow and expand. The energy is yours. White magic, black magic. Don't call it magic, call it energy. Don't call it energy, call it particles. Call it what you will. Don't call it intuition, call it gut. It's all part of you. It doesn't matter where you're getting the intuition from, and whether you got that gut instinct, because your root and your chakra, your sacral and your solar plexus are part of you, and they are listening to the energy that you're vibing with. So you got a gut instinct. Take that gut instinct and go straight to your higher self and say, let's talk about this. You're that powerful that you can be that fly on the wall that listens to your higher self and your egoic self have a conversation, and you could just blow your mind. That's where I'm at. My mind gets blown listening to my higher self tell my ego, just give her a minute. She'll figure it out. No, she doesn't need to go ask anybody. Marcus has already told her how to do this. Olivia has already told her how to do this. At some point, Grace has helped me go through some stuff. And my higher mind says, nope, she's got enough information. Just give her a moment. That's all Ra is saying. You are a sovereign spiritual being with the ability to create with the tools that you already have within you. And it is attached to all the quantum energy that surrounds you continuously. You are not separate from the universe. You are a glorious part of it. Thank you for being part of this education, this raw experience. Thank you for showing up. I gotta go. But we'll see you. Will we see them next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time? 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Same raw channel, same raw experience and expression. Is it connecting?
Wholeness and balanced love, everybody.
Yeah. Wholeness and balanced love for you and yours. Going through something. Ah, yes. When I go through something and I don't go through it in an and I think she meant enlightened way, I will definitely sometimes laugh at myself. No worries, girl. It will get better. Exactly. It's okay to have a conversation.
That's all about.
You know, there's once we get to the point where there's no mistakes, or better yet, if you want, it's the English or the language period, you know, is for us to talk to each other. Really. But when you go inward and you start interconnecting with your higher being starts directing you, you know, vibrationally through all your chakra connections. The divine has no difficultiness in speaking with you, because you are the divine, you are the creator, you are, like Marcus says, the I am. So I got to jet, because I've got to take care of my beautiful, wonderful, my, how do I say this? Because my beautiful, he's my spirit animal in form, my dog. And I promised I'd take care of him as soon as possible. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep my promise. So wholeness and balanced love to you and yours. See you next Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Subscribe to our channels, YouTube, Instagram. Subscribe to Marcus's Facebook. I even got my Facebook is coming up, right? Follow us. We've got so much more to share. One love.
I need you to stop scrolling for 60 seconds, because what I'm about to share changes everything you thought you knew about the products in your home. Myth! That brightly colored cereals, fruity medications, and gentle kids products are safe because they're FDA approved and heavily advertised. The truth. Many contain ingredients banned in other countries, artificial dyes linked to behavioral issues, preservatives that disrupt gut health. Hormone-disrupting chemicals like phthalates, parabens, and synthetic fragrances are hiding in plain sight, feminizing or masculinizing bodies in ways we're only beginning to understand. I'm going live with shamanic guide Christolight, herbalist Sarah B., musician Evan Sturgeon, and organic product maker J-Date. On YouTube and Facebook at Sacred Kingdom. This conversation will be raw, unfiltered, and packed with solutions you can implement today. We're not holding back. Join us.